Hey, I wanted to respond to you because you and I certainly share some unique and horrifying experiences. And I actually saw your video many months ago during a whole time in my life when I was searching for some information similar to, what you said you were searching for in yours. And I came across, and it was helpful. It was pretty cool. It was, I think, one of the first YouTube videos I was introduced to on that subject. And so last night, or rather very late this morning, I came across yours again, and I decided to watch it all the way through. I wanted to respond this time mainly because I guess now I have a video camera. I think I may have sent you some messages in the past, and I probably don't remember because you likely did not respond or write back. But I have a camera now. I do want to write to you this time. Something I noticed this time I did not before is you'd actually link to a personal website of yours. You put that in your video information or whatever it's called. And I did take a look at that this time. I noticed your collection of what you've experienced, what you feel, seems to me to be not really in order with most of what I read about this online. You seem to have uncommon clusters. I don't want to say rare, but but surprisingly, it's actually very similar to your entire layout. It's very similar to what I actually experienced. So, and that's mainly why I'm trying to contact you now. And one thing that stands out, and I'm going to read it right from your website here. It says fading voice, and you say, often when I speak, it's like each word I say quickly disappears. And I would reinterpret that and speak that to you as saying, well, yeah, I have extremely poor, severely poor short-term memory. But I understand and I can relate to the manner in which you're saying that, and which is, if you were to give an example, if I were to give an example, I would say, okay, if I'm on the phone for a few minutes or a few hours, several seconds after I hung up the phone, I would start to question, well, did that really just happen? And obviously, I would, based on my past experiences and my knowledge of my entire life, yeah, that of course that did happen. I don't really question the validity, but my experience of the validity completely destroys my logical conclusion that, yeah, I just had a conversation with someone for several hours. But what I'm sensing, like the information I'm getting from that, is saying, no, that really didn't just happen. So I compare it to, and I know a lot of people with this describe experiences like this as dreamlike, etc. And I would compare it to a dream, because in a dream, I would describe a dream for me as really hazy and cloudy, not really sure what's going on, and that is what day-to-day life feels like to me. And so when I attempt to think back in the past, something that happened today, whether it's 5 seconds ago or 5 hours ago, the response I get in my head is that it was just, a dream. And so the magnitude of that validity that we talk about is, of course, equated to a dream, not equated to everyday experience, or real life experience, or what I would hope, what I would assume the majority of people experience. So, a couple of other experiences that you don't list here on your site that I wanted to add. You collect together word finding, what you call fading voice, balance, staring issues, and I have all of those as well. Something I would add in addition is visual snow, and since you have talked about searching online for information about this, and I would assume you would know visual snow is associated with that. So I guess you don't experience that. So that's interesting, because I mean, I'm looking at this here now, and the balance insomnia, staring, anxiety, word finding, fading voice, crackly ears, time distortion, twitching. I mean, that's a pretty distinct cluster, I would think. So one more, visual snow, which is really not common anyway. I mean, if you go, well, according to Wikipedia, but how accurate is that? You know, that it's pretty, we're close, right? I mean, so our cases have to be similar. Visual snow throws me off a bit, but so, oh, also, and this is just before I forget, because I'm sure you understand the memory situation here is horrible. I read that you were interested in receiving a SPECT scan, and I did have one of those done at a university here in the US, and it didn't show anything significant. I don't know, I haven't really paired that up with our experiences in general, derealization in general. I compared that up and say, okay, well, how many people who get this scan done show significance, and those out of those people who have A and who has B, you know, etc. And so I don't know. I mean, also it shows blood flow anyway. So what can you really get from that? And I don't think anything. But I'm not. I'm a law student, not a medical student, so I might as well switch. But oh, also I want to ask, because you list tests you have received on here, and I see like lupus stuff and like apnea, sleep apnea stuff. Have you been tested for Lyme disease, or considered that, thought about it, talked about it with any of the many doctors you have seen? I don't know. Let me know what you think about that, and if you want to talk about it in addition to whatever this turns out to be, which could be nothing, do write me about it though if you're curious, because there's more that can be said about that. But yeah, I mean, this is all. I was gonna say this is all fantastic. I mean, that's not really, but I suppose that's it. So I have noticed that since you have made your original video, which is the one I'm responding to now, you haven't done much, which I guess making this video hopefully nudges you to say, okay, come on, let's get act together, because I would like to see a community form and grow on here. I know you're doing some kind of Facebook thing that I kind of saw you talk about. I don't really have Facebook. I don't use it to do this kind of stuff, but you know, I could. So, but we'll see how that goes. So, write me back or do this back as well. But also, for anyone else watching, like, just go to this girl's website and look at the clusters of symptoms, and you know, post your, if you've got most of them, the majority of them, just like, you might have two more or two less, but that's pretty significant. And that book that you mentioned as well, The Feeling Unreal, that's fantastic material. But, so I suppose that's it, and please make more videos. I don't want to have to do this anyway.